Space in my heart, I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow and unfold. Embrace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love. Welcome to peace. Welcome to our community. Be who you are. Let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah, welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here. It is on. I'll try the other one. We have backup. Hello, hello. Now it's on. So, now that I'm hot, I will say it again. Welcome, welcome to CSL Ocala. And do we have any new faces here this morning? Oh, yeah, welcome, welcome. So, as Cindy would always say, we do things a little different here. And this is our Circle Sunday. And for you guys to be the first time coming here, oh, hi, Eric. It's a great time to actually get to know the people that are here in the center. So, you know, we do our breakout circles and you get to share your thoughts and ideas if you choose to. There's no have-tos. So
we'll see how the day unfolds and what you think of it. Um, so here at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala, we have a vision, mission, and values. And our vision is we are a model center for spiritual living as evidenced by the transformational impact we have on our spiritual community, which is all of us together, the CSL organization, which is the larger, greater organization all across the world, not just the USA, and the community at large as each of us express in our daily lives, the people that we come in contact, the changes that we've made in our lives, and that your friends and neighbors see that they were like, ooh, what Kool-Aid are you drinking? I want some of that. So yeah, that's our vision. We want to be the change that we want to see in the world. And our mission, I don't have a clip. You got the clip. Our mission is to empower individuals to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around them so they may live their best lives. So, what is their best lives? That's for them to decide. No one else can tell them how to be happy. And that's what our mission is in the world. I see what you mean. It doesn't change, does it? Cold. Our values, and our values we get together, we try to get the values of the community. So we picked these as a community years ago, and the top 10 of what everyone picked is what we use as our core values for the center. And if you want to say these with me, if it feels like it's something that you can resonate with, yeah, shout it out. And the first one, spiritual growth and practice, love, appreciation, community, freedom, creativity, health and wholeness, generosity, and financial well-being. So yeah, these are our community values, and we hold strongly. We see them manifesting in our day, in our lives, as we put our tools to work. So that's what we're about here. So beyond surviving to thriving, beyond surviving to thriving. A lot of people they're going through their daily what's to do. They're 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 becoming human doings instead of human beings. So we want to get out of that rut and find out how to thrive, how to just not go through the daily mundane, oh, I got to do this, I got to get up, take the kids to school, come back home, cook dinner, da, da, da. What is our purpose? What is going to make us just enjoy our life? So this is exploring universal principles of spiritual living, because it's an inside job, as we know. Nobody can fix what we got going on. So we always like to acknowledge the native lands from the area here in Ocala. So our indigenous tribes of Marion County are the Ocala tribe, the Potano, and the Acuera. I don't know if I ever say that. You think? How do you know that? I'm going with Acuera. And Acura if you want to say it how Christina does. But what is science of mind? Because we have some new people here that may not have ever heard that expression before walking in the doors today. So the definition is it's a practical study of consciousness and truth principles from scientific, philosophical, psychological, and spiritual perspectives. So it's taking a look at everything from all the aspects of, not just religion. That empowers individuals to maximize their human potential. It is based on the principle that consciousness is the source and substance of all that is. I'm going to repeat that one. It is based on the principle that consciousness is the source and substance of all that is. Starting getting into that thinking ideology again there. Your consciousness is the source. So we are one with that consciousness and use it to create our experience of life. So there's a theme that's setting up that, you change your thinking, change your life. You are the cause and the root of your reality. And that's what we believe here. That's what Science of Mind is. So, again, I've said we've come on Circle Sunday. That's why we're sitting in a circle, and it's Sunday. But why circle? Why do we come and sit in circle? Anybody want to shout out why they think circles are important? See and hear everybody. No beginning or end. Right. So it's equality, no hierarchy. Anything else? All good answers. Yes, and it's a container. The circle can hold that energy. So circle provides structure and process for conversations that foster mutual respect, emotional literacy, empathy, problem solving, accountability, self-regulation, self-awareness, and shared leadership. So that's where the no hierarchies, really manifest. And it's a symbol of wholeness, unity, oneness, universality, shared power, no hierarchies. All are valued and all are seen and heard. So that's pretty much, yeah, it sounds like you guys have been in circles before. But what is circle not for? It's not for lecturing. It's not for discussion. So if someone has an idea and are speaking about what they think, feel, or are going through, it's not really anybody else's position in the circle to, go into their stuff. That's not what circles are for. It's not for persuasion, and it's not for berating or putting someone else in their place. That's a huge one. It's not for berating or putting someone else in their place, and it's not therapy. Although we do have some therapists in the room, if they're in your circle, that is not the place for them to break down your stuff. So we have a few guidelines that we use in our circle. And when I say circle, we're not going to stay in this big circle. We're going to break off into smaller circles so everyone will get a chance to talk and speak on whatever the topic or questions are. But within the circle, there's guidelines. Mutual respect. Maintain confidentiality. Embody brave space. Anyone know what brave space, what their definition of brave space would be? What do you think brave space is? Karen? Right. And knowing that your bravery is protect. No one's going to be talking about your stuff outside the circle. So be brave and share what it is you need to share with the knowing that it's going to stay right there within that group. Unless you give somebody permission to speak about it, which, why would you do that? Be present. You have to, in order for these conversations to happen, these you have to be present and be willing to, share if you feel called to. This acronym, WAIT, I love it. Does anyone know what that stands for? Why am I not talking, or why am I talking? Why aren't I talking? Why aren't I talking, and why am I talking? Yes. So, some of us, yes. Some of us are on one side or the other of that spectrum sometimes, that the ones that are, why am I talking? Okay, you've made your point. It has to have an end. Don't just start rambling and taking up the whole, because we have a limited time that, we have to go through all these questions and get everybody to give their input. And, sometimes you'll find people that just sit there and listen and watch. And, they might, why aren't I talking? So that's some time to do some self-reflection. No one's going to say, hey, what do you got to say on this? That's not what we do, but internally, personally, you might want to check, why am I not sharing? Do I not have anything to say, or am I afraid to, have input for fear of being, judged or whatever? But remember all these others, the brave space, So remember that, take that on. So the format of a circle, it has an opening, which is this. And then we're going to have a mindful moment. And this mindful moment, we're going to play a video by Eddie Watkins Jr. It's amazing. And then we have the presentation and guiding questions. So each circle will have a facilitator that has the questions and is guiding questions or interactive exercise. We're going with the guiding questions. And everybody that wants to will put their input in on their thoughts on the questions. And then we'll come back together at the end and do a closing. So that's the circle format that we use. And now it's time for the mindful moment, which our amazing guys in the back are going to play for us.
to do a song right now, and I think it's especially poignant because of all of the unrest that we've been having in our country. And I'm not going to describe the song. I want you to make it your own, get your own meaning out of it, but I will say this. Each of us makes the difference. Just before you say something you can't take away, take a breath and let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what will love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we die for love. In the end, that's all we know is real. Oh, whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now?
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Circle Sunday and to the spiritual center that we all know and love and have grown to get to know each other, be a part of each other's lives, and work for a world that works for all of us. Welcome everyone that's brand new, everyone that's already been here, everybody online. It's good to have you this morning. We're talking about from surviving to thriving. That's what we're talking about through the whole year. But this month, we're talking about attraction, the law of attraction, and how that works for us, and how we can make it work in our lives better. So we have a reading here from the Science of Mind Foundations course. The spiritual principle of the law of attraction is exact and impersonal. The patterns of our life, however good or bad, have a magnetic pull or gravitational field to them. It is a dynamic of the mind in which we attract what we think about. As in mind, so in manifestation. Where attention goes energy flows. That's a really good one. It's one of my favorite quotes. Where attention goes, energy flows. Who here can agree with that statement? And think about when you're really focused on what's going wrong, things seem to just get worse. But when you're focused on finding those moments, those good moments, and looking for the beauty and the love, as Eddie Watkins sang about, those are when we see more of that love, more of that goodness. The law of correspondence, also known as the law of attraction, as above, so below, as within, so without. Sherry spoke about this last week, and here's another quote that she brought to us then, and I'm going to say it again. The limit of our ability to demonstrate or attract depends on our ability to provide a mental equivalent of our desires. For the law of correspondence works from belief to the thing. So if you think about it, you can say all day long, oh, I want a new car, I want a new car, I want a new car. You can do positive affirmations around it. But when you actually have that belief, that feeling inside of you, that you really believe this can happen, you really believe that this law of correspondence works for you, then that is what the universe is picking up on, whatever we're thinking about, right? So we could be saying the words, but if we're not feeling that belief, if that isn't coming from our mind, from our heart, then that's why it's not coming to us, right? Because we know that whatever is highest and best for all of us, that's what the universe wants, right? So Mary Morrissey, she does a lot on the law of attraction. We use her in our course that we do. Thank you, Prosperity Plus. My brain, I was like, the one on prosperity, there it is, Prosperity Plus. And she talks a lot about this. So we're going to play this one clip because it's really important to this discussion.
Of attraction. But there's something missing in our understanding about the law of attraction, or we would attract only that which we want, right? Once you're introduced to a law, it seems like it should be simple then to just apply that in a way that would always bring us what it is that we say we want. What is it that is preventing most people from attracting what they truly want? Paradigms. So imagine, I'll tell you about a paradigm. Man goes fishing. He's heard about this great fishing stream. So he goes and he tosses his line in the stream. And he waits. He looks down the bank and he sees an old guy pulling in one fish after another. And every fish he pulls out, he watches the old guy, and the old guy measures that fish by a broken off ruler that he has laying on the edge of the riverbank. And then the young guy notices something, that the old guy, after measuring the fish that comes out of the stream, if the fish is bigger than the broken off ruler, he tosses it back in the stream. But if the fish is smaller than the broken off ruler, he puts it in his bucket. And the young guy thinks, I wonder why he's throwing the big fish back. Do they get bony if they get big, or is there some sort of license? Does our fishing license only allow us to get the fish that are a certain size out of the stream? So he interrupts the old guy and he says, excuse me, but I'm watching what you're doing. You're pulling in all the fish. I mean, you have amazing capacity to bring in the fish, but why do you throw the big ones back and keep the little ones? And the old guy says, buddy, see that broken off ruler on the edge of the riverbank? And the kid says, yes. And he says, that broken off ruler is broken off at exactly the size of the frying pan I use. Right? So we'd laugh at a fisherman who would not realize you could use bigger fish even with a frying pan that size. But ultimately, that's what you and I do. The stream of life tosses us a big fish. It's an idea. It's a possibility. We measure it by the size of the frying pan we have, which is our known world, what we've already accomplished. And the big idea comes in and we say, well, I don't have the money to do that. Or we say, or I don't have the contacts to do that, or I don't have the right age to do that, or I don't have the experience to do that. Or my frying pan, that idea, that life doesn't fit in this frying pan. And we essentially toss it back to the stream of life and say, give me a fish that fits in the frying pan I've got, or the life I know. You're going to be invited this weekend to stretch your frying pan, to step outside the frying pan. And outside the frying pan, there's a gap between the life you've lived and the life you would like to live. Learning how to navigate that gap is why you study working with the law, why you study these principles, because they are instruction for how it is that you navigate that gap. Now, this frying pan will be replaced by the next frying pan. And that one, should you decide to grow and expand, it will again be replaced. You're in a spiral universe. So there's an ever upward pull. But what's important right now is the next pull, the next step, the next life that's beckoning to you, that's calling to you, that's saying, this is what I'd like my life to be like. And all the while, your paradigms, your belief systems, the ideas that you've had are arguing for their existence. They're telling you why it can't happen. Every one of us is in the box of the paradigms we currently are living from, our belief systems. It doesn't mean that we couldn't, as Bob was describing, the switching station that is the mind, that we couldn't switch into a different frequency or a different vibration. But interestingly, we're stuck inside that box, and the manual for how to get out of that box is outside the box. It's not inside the box. It's outside the thinking that we currently are doing. How to live your life from a different frequency. When Bob was saying, you know, people want to change their lives and they want me to help them, but they want to do it their way. And their way is creating the result that they're currently having. So inside the box of your thinking is not the answer to the life that you'd like to live. It's outside that thinking, which means we each, in our own way, have to be willing to make a change.
Nope. So how many of us have done that exact thing? Cut off what the good that we have coming to us because it doesn't fit into our current paradigm. And it sounds crazy when you say it, when you put it in the simple terms of the guy cutting off the fish to fit the frying pan. When you think about it, though, our own limitations are really our only limitations. We're the ones that are keeping that good from flourishing. When we worry about the how of how this is going to happen and this is going to work out, and oh, that's too hard and it's too big and it's I can't do that, and when we limit that thinking, that's when we don't get to flourish. We're cutting off our own good. And this book, Holy Moments, is a really, really good book. It's kind of a different take on the same idea, but the quote here is the moment when you realize, despite what your life has been up until now, and regardless of anything you have done in the past, what matters most is what you do next. Our choices are at the heart of our ability to collaborate with God to create holy moments. Decide to collaborate with God. That's Matthew Kelly, the writer of the book. And he talks about these holy moments. And what a holy moment is when we take that moment to decide, I'm going to collaborate with God. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to connect. I'm going to choose to deliberately co-create what's happening here. And in these holy moments, these tiny collaborations that we have, we can build a life from there. So starting small, right? Starting with the small things. And Sherry, who spoke last week, she ended her talk with saying, be bold in your greatness, which is also from this book. So being bold in your greatness, when you have greatness, goodness. When you have goodness, a moment, when you're focused on goodness, it can't ever be a bad moment. It's always going to be a good moment when that's where our focus is. And being bold with it, well, if you're faced with a dissatisfaction in your life, what that dissatisfaction can do, it's a sign. Most people want to brush it off, not think about what's not going well, or they want to just dwell on what's not going well all the time. Where instead, if we take that dissatisfaction as the sign that it is and focus on the good in it, the good we can pull from it, and what we can do about it, that means being bold. There's a quote, be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. So you're not working alone. You're co-creating with the whole universe, with God, with everything else that light touches. We're co-creating with all of it. So this boldness is where it sees the moment. seize the day. When those opportunities present, don't hesitate to show that goodness. What tiny moments can you take throughout your life to show what love does and how those moments can connect to help further what you are trying to accomplish in your life?
And a lot of times, if you just stop and reflect on your day, at the end of each day, and you think about the things that you've done and the people you've come into contact with, you'll find a lot of these holy moments that you have actually already interacted or started or have done. And when you start thinking about them, you start giving appreciation for being able to do that. And when things you appreciate, they just keep growing. So, it's just a practice. Just stop and think about your day, because you're a wonderful person. You know that you are, but you don't really think about how wonderful you are.
True story. Okay, so we have our circle of questions next. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking up into groups. We have our facilitators for raise their hands. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to count by fours. Starting. Do you guys? Okay. Okay. So everybody, we're going to go into different spots. I counted you as 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, David, me 3, Aaron 4. So if you're in that group, you follow that person. Do you know where you want to go? Okay. So that follow Galen back to the office in the back. Keep walking till you can't walk anymore. Okay. Keep walking, keep walking. 2s are going to stay here, right here with David. Okay. 4s go outside with Aaron on the patio.